Well, it's important to roll with people of different sizes because that helps your game develop, right? So if you're always rolling with people that are really, really big, or always rolling with people that are your size, or always rolling with people that are much smaller, it can be kind of a challenge to get different kinds of experiences that can help you develop in your game. Hi, I'm Desiree Lussier-Levesque, Brazilian Jiu Jitsu coach and competitor, and Judoka, and welcome to my channel, The Purple Belt Diaries. So it happens a lot that most of the people that I roll with are going to be bigger than me. Now that's not always the case. I've still rolled with people that are smaller, and I work with kids a lot, so naturally they're smaller than me most of the time as well. But for the most part, it's been a long road to not getting squished under much larger individuals. Sometimes it can become disheartening when you've got a really good technical setup, you've got your submissions there, and then somebody just muscles right out of it. It's also hard to gauge where you are if you're always rolling with people of different sizes, so then where competition comes in. So during my normal week, there's a variety of different training partners at different sizes that I work with on a daily basis. But when it comes to competition, the women are always going to be around my size, unless I'm fighting in an open weight or I'm fighting up in weight. So that gives me a very good gauge of where I'm at as far as where my weaknesses might be in my game, where my technical level is actually at, and also give me an idea of where I want to be and what I want to work on. And then I also have to be careful a lot of times working with some much larger lower belts, because there is the potential where I could get injured. So this is especially true during times where I'm trying to pull off certain submissions, like an arm bar, and the person is strong enough to literally lift me off the ground and slam me back down, which has happened a few times in my career. This is why I always try to advise people to be safe, play it safe, especially smaller individuals or women when you're rolling with bigger individuals that you don't know. When you're working with much larger individuals as a smaller person, that's a good way to kind of gauge your technique, in my opinion. So if someone is able to, regardless of their size, just whip that arm right out and I can't get the arm bar, I can't get the submission, well, they're able to just dead fish it and lay there, and they don't have to do any work to get out of things. If they don't use any strength at all, I know that maybe my technique isn't quite right. I'm not really locking things in. So it helps me develop my technique when someone does put a little bit of strength or put a little bit more effort into it, because then my technique has to go even further and get even better to overcome that strength difference. And my ultimate goal is that the size difference won't matter as much. But at the end of the day, size differences do matter. And they matter with how we play our game too, right? When I'm rolling with somebody who is much stronger than me, I prefer to work my top game. This is because I hate being squished on the bottom. If someone's significantly stronger than me, I prefer not to be in a position where they can pin me down and then I'm going to get stuck. And this happens even with people my size, even with like other women my size. They could be very, very strong. And it's happened to me at World Masters this last year. Once my opponent took side control, she had a really good crossface. It was really, really tough to get out of that. That doesn't mean that I don't play guard, because it's good to run my game. And there are times where, you know what, it's just not going to happen that I'm going to stay on top. I'm going to find myself on my back. So having both is great. But in general, especially if my opponent is stronger than me or is also a good top player, the bottom is not where I want to be. I would actually prefer someone, my opponent, put a bit of strength into it. This gives me something to kind of fight against. Now, of course, I don't want them to go all out. It doesn't make sense for someone who's 200 pounds, even 180 pounds, to put so much muscle into a roll with me as they would to somebody of equal size, right? But at the same time, almost kind of be a little bit insulting if they feel like they can just lay there with you and not put any effort into a roll. And so really try to avoid that. So if you are the stronger person and you're working with somebody smaller, give them back the strength that they give to you. Or if they ask for a little bit harder, that's fine too. As long as things are controlled and not dangerous, it's okay to put strength into it. The worst kind of roll for me is one with like the dead fish, where your partner just kind of lays there and they don't move at all. It doesn't actually help me work, right? I could just get a drilling dummy. It's not actually a roll, and it's not quite so fun. So you're the stronger person. Don't just smash and just pin them down and just never let them work. Also, don't just lay there. As the stronger person, it's a good opportunity to kind of focus on that control, tone down that strength a little bit, and really try to work your technique. If you're the person on the opposite side of that, don't be upset if somebody is using strength, if they are squishing you a little bit, because this can actually kind of help you gauge where your technique is. If your technique starts to get good enough that they try to muscle out and they can't, bravo to you. Sometimes all you're going to be able to do is sit there and control, and if you're able to do that with somebody much stronger, excellent. Bravo to you on that as well. Take the little things and don't try to compare yourself to somebody who is more athletic or who is stronger or who is bigger or who is faster or who is smaller, because your journey is going to be your own. And just remember that, because that is what is important. That is what's key. Have fun, but be safe. All right. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to hit that like, that subscribe, maybe that notification bell, and I will see you next time. Bye.